Welcome back to Project King number 3, why you need a tractor. It's the Rototiller. You can't really beat having a Rototiller for a garden. So we're gonna talk about the Rototiller I have, and then I'm gonna show you it running in action. If I can speak today, it's a little hot out here again. So anyway, I've got the, as usual, the Kubota L3830 here hooked up to the King Cutter 2 72-inch Rototiller. And as you can see, it hooks up to my quick attach. The King Cutter tiller is actually really well made. I'm not a giant fan of King Cutter implements. I prefer somebody like Woods or Frontier or something like, or Land Pride. But the King Cutter tillers are actually very well made. They're very heavy. This tiller is probably about 780 pounds. And when you have a tiller, you want it to be heavy so it doesn't bounce around, especially if you have a little bit of rocky soil or rocky ground. As you can see there, it has spiral tines. So they make a spiral shape as they go down through there, and that makes it till a lot smoother. This particular tiller also has a gear drive, so there's a gear case in there, and with gear oil, and that works exceptionally well. Some of them have chains, and I suppose they work fine, but I really like this geared tiller. It works really quite well. So you can see how this drive line works. You have the PTO coming off the tractor, of course. Comes back to this slip clutch, which is right there, if I can get my camera to focus. So that's a nice slip clutch. Instead of having a shear pin, you've got a slip clutch you can adjust, and you need that in case you get into any kind of rocks or fence posts or whatever might be in the ground when you're tilling. Then it goes back to this 90-degree gearbox. Power goes over here to the stacked gears. There's a gear here, a gear in the middle, and then another one at the bottom. And that, of course, then powers the tines. So they're fairly complicated in terms of drive line. They have 2 gearboxes and a slip clutch, and of course this drive shaft going from one side to the other. In the back, you have a flap, and this flap raises and lowers, and using that chain, you can adjust it. So when you're doing course work, you raise that up slightly so it'll kind of sling out the coarse sod or rocks or whatever you're tilling. When you start doing finer work, then you let that come down tight, and it has a tendency to grind up the dirt better and make it a finer mix. Of course, here on the sides you have these shoes you can adjust, so that it adjusts how deep the tiller digs. I don't know the exact depths it can dig for this particular one, but it'll dig pretty deep, and a lot of times it's not necessary that you go super deep. I've used this tiller quite a bit. It's probably got, I don't even know how many hours on it. A lot of hours, but it's been very reliable and still works good. So what we're going to do is just do some little video action of the tiller running, and what I'm doing is I'm prepping an area to do some test alfalfa and orchard grass mix in preparation for next year's plan, which is to dig up an entire old field and replant it. At least that's the plan right now. So in an effort to do that, I've currently bush hogged it, which I'll roll in some photo or video of that happening. I did that just a little bit ago, and if you didn't see video number 1, why you need a tractor, you can check that out about the bush hog. After we get the thing bush hogged, the ground bush hogged, I've got it pretty fine out there. Then we'll take the tiller out and get it all smoothed up. So we'll till it, and then I'll probably end up tilling it again. So I'll show some of that action. It has some sod on it right now. It's not going to be as smooth as it would be with a garden after you've tilled it a few times, but it'll just make it powdery smooth. It looks like cake mix if you've ever baked a cake or you've ever eaten a cake. So until next time, thanks for watching Project King videos. We appreciate your support. We're almost to 1,500 subscribers, which is awesome. And stay tuned, here comes the tilling footage. I just wanted to show you real quick, this is one pass of the tiller on ground that had grown grass. You can see this is just super fine dirt, and that's just one pass. So I'll probably make another pass later in the week and then seed my grass seed and alfalfa seed. But excellent machine. One other note, if you've got rocky ground, you really don't want a rototiller, in my opinion. You'd probably be better served with a plow and a disc. So it's something to consider. Just the action of the rototiller engaging the ground is really violent. I have basically a loamy dirt here, extremely soft. It's almost like powder. But if you've got any kind of rocks, except for maybe something the size of like a Brazil nut or something like that, or one of those English walnuts. If you got anything bigger than that, a lot of it, I highly recommend getting something besides a tiller. So that's it for now. Thank you.